Alright, this is kind of funny because this is like the first video I'm probably about to be making, but I was just walking, had some stuff on my mind, and decided, you know, why not just share some of this knowledge I know. I ain't gonna say it's 100% accurate, but I'll just say it's through my own experiences, so you can take that as it is, because not everything we know is 100% accurate, despite what we think and what we think we know. So if this resonates with you, then hey, use it. Alright, so the topic of this video, oh shit, almost slipped on some ice. Topic of this video is going to be, what are servitors? So if anybody is looking at this video, I hope they find it. The people that need it the most don't need to get a lot of views, but you know, this shit's powerful if you know how to use it right. Servitors are energy forms, thought forms that you create from yourself. Now, most people might be thinking, oh shit, isn't that kind of dangerous? Because, you know, you're taking energy from yourself and then you're making something entirely new. Well, not really. It's not. It's really as simple as that. We create thought forms every day. The moment I think, oh, I love this, you create a thought form that says, oh, I love this. Whatever that this may be. I love smoking weed. I love eating hamburgers. I love something. I love my kid. There's a thought form that says, that repeats that in your mind. So that next time you come up to your kid, you'll think, oh, I love my child. Now, say for that, I'll stay on the topic of I love my child. Now, say if you think differently one day where some shit's been going on in your life, it's been negative, and you think, oh, since I had this kid, you know, like my life is going down. I gotta pay all these bills. I gotta pay these bills. I gotta feed this extra mouth. I gotta listen to this drink nagging. Then you're gonna start having thought forms of saying that correspond with that negativity. Now, so basically basically what I'm saying is, well, you already probably know what I'm saying. It's simple shit, like just as simple as that, really. You know, you think negative thoughts, it's going to create forms that think negative thoughts that continue those thoughts in a cycle. But a servitor is a continuous thought or a continuous form of energy based on the intention that you wanted to create. So if I wanted to create a servitor for protection, it will have that singular mode of thought. I'm going to protect my owner through any means that you give it. So if you create a wolf, you can create that wolf to have like a paralyzing scream that any energy being that comes near you that seeks to harm you, it'll scream it out and tell it to go away. Or it might just create a shield around you. That wolf can create a shield around you so that you and it can be protected from any entity that seeks to harm you. So it can make you invisible. It can shield your energy to mirror back negativity at someone. It can attack other entities that may be too powerful for it to see through your veil. So as far as I know, the only time they've really been able to do this for me is when I'm asleep. So when we sleep, we tend to be less aware in the dream world than we are in the physical world. So as you start doing it in the physical world, it'll start happening more in the dream world. That's what I've been noticing too. I've been really getting serious about putting up shields, and I've been noticing more stuff in my dreams. I haven't really been being attacked as much. Okay, servitors, back to what I was saying. Alright, so you can create a servitor for just about any general purpose. Now, I've made ones for helping me become smarter, for me obtaining more knowledge, for me absorbing more energy, for protection. That's a simple one, because there be some dangerous fucking entities out here. And they just like how there are people who all comes with bandwidths of strength, there are negative entities who can look at your shield and fucking sneeze on that joint and break it. So your servitor, having a servitor, or say an entity designed solely to protect or to love you, especially if you create it with that intention. Now, you can give it free will so that it can make its choices on its own without you having to tell it to do something. But also make sure that if you create one, that you make it with the sole intent to love you. Now, you don't gotta be sexual or none of that, or romantic, but love you like a friend or a family member. It's pretty much a piece of you anyway, so it's probably going to do that regardless, especially if that was already your intent. And you can create that servitor to do this specific duty, and it will never really think about harming you unless you harm it. If that, like, you know, it's like it's another person, pretty much. It's just not as it won't be as complex as how we're complex, but nonetheless, it can grow into complexity if you wish it to. And sometimes it just might do it on their own, depending on how many tasks and how many abilities and you give it. So, you know, think about that when you create one. You can just give it one little thing to do, like protection, and it might not get any more complex than I'm just going to protect my user. But it may get more complex just for the simple sake of how can I protect my user? It might ask itself that question. Now, that don't mean like just because it's like an AI where it's just going to start trying to kill you and shit, because, you know, nah, it's not going to do that. It's like, why would you really think about killing somebody? It's like, well, if you don't have those thoughts, why would that servitor have those thoughts? But it's not even like that either, because the servitor sees things differently than we see. It's not limited by a 3D perspective. It's like a fourth dimensional being. So there is good in duality that I know of in the fourth dimension, but it's an extension of your soul. So it wouldn't really think about harming its master unless that master decided to harm it. So it's like your child. If you berate your child and say, oh, you fucking suck, or you didn't do what I want you to do, it'll start to get angry. It may not be in the beginning, but it's going to start figuring out that, oh, this is negative. Like, this guy sucks. So it might start doing bad things to you in retaliation because you're doing bad things to it. So always treat your servitor like a friend, like in respect. So other abilities you can give it, off the top of my head, you can give it to protect, to cleanse a space, cleanse your energy body, cleanse your, remove different programs and thought forms from your mind more easily, because that should be hard. I've noticed that, or it can be easy depending on who you are as a person. Some people just have dense programs and negative thought forms in their mind, so it's not going to be as easy for certain people to do their inner work as it is for, say, another person. So your servitor can go into your subconscious and you tell it, hey, I want to remove this. Hold on real quick. Hey, servitor, I want to remove this this program in my mind, this subconscious program where I have a fear around females, where I can't seem to be able to talk to them the way I want to. It will go in your mind, into your subconscious when you sleep or when you're awake. It might be during your when you're meditating too, and it will pluck out that it will pluck out that subconscious thought form and replace it with the thought form that you want to. Now, you have to still go in and do the work where you're going to have to think. You're going to have to think up reasons why. You're going to have to figure out, one is, you're going to have to figure out why you feel the way you do when you talk to females, or to whatever your problem may be, why you feel this way. And you're going to have to consciously tell your subconscious how you want to feel. It just makes the whole process easier. The servitor makes the whole process easier, basically. So it's like, your subconscious mind is you, but it's also like, the version of you that you created. It's like, how can I say? It's like, if you're a negative person in the real world, your subconscious is going to be way more negative than you are in the real world. They don't have really restrictions like how we have restrictions here, like rules. So if you met up with your subconscious in the dream world, he would try to fight you off bucks. And especially if you try to tell it what to do, he might try to fight you. And I've had that happen to me a few times before, where my subconscious wanted to fight me, and we were wrecking. Now, over time, me and him we've gotten more cooler. I won't say that we're 100% buddy, but I mean, we can hold a conversation, and I don't have dreams no more where we be fighting. If we do, it's usually just for sparring and shit, because, you know, I'm just that type of nigga who likes to fight. Internally, that's just me. I like to fight. I won't fight a person. I won't try to start a fight, but if I can't back them down out of the fight, then I will gladly whip your ass. Like, that's just been me since I was a kid. And once you become cool with your subconscious, wait, hold on, I'm getting off topic here. That's just one thing with the servitor. Hold up. It's a beautiful day outside. Let me get my thoughts back together. What was I talking about with the servitor? Oh, okay, yeah. That's just one thing that your servitor can do. Now, another thing your servitor can probably do is, say if you're working at you have your business, and your servitor, and you create a servitor to help promote your business. Now, your servitor will do everything in its power, depending on what you've given it, what abilities you've given it, to go out and influence certain people, not in a negative manner, depending on what you have, what your business is, but we'll go out and influence certain people to come and find your, to mentally prompt them to go, excuse me, find like an item that you're selling or something. Like if you're writing a book, or if you're selling like a keychain or some shit, and a person might be looking for a keychain, they will go find a person with that. It's like looking into the, searching into the universal archive for people who searched up keychains. So the servitor will search up people who are looking up keychains, and then have them look at your, try to mentally prompt them into finding your keychain. I know it's a weird phrase for keychain, but it just popped in my mind, and I hope that works for you. But another one would be book. Like if you're writing a book or making a song, and it would find people who are looking up new music and looking up books to read, and in that specific genre, like, you know, it narrows it down because to help you out the best. Or it might just not do that, because depending, it can be in many places at once too, especially if you give it that power to do so. And it will try to help you out the best way that it can. It can see things that you can't see. It knows things that you don't know. It can go into the future, go into the past. And I don't know if it influences things in the past, but I wouldn't be surprised, to tell you the truth. And you serve over time, it will, like, especially if it's like if you give it more tasks, like I said before, it will get more powerful. Now, if it's just singular mind gold, I have servitors who I've given it many things to do, and I would say they are pretty powerful. Now, they're not the most powerful, because I kind of stop talking to them from time to time, and they might get drained of energy. But say if I talk to them every day, they would, because I'm just starting to do that more now, which is why something prompted me to just talk about this right now. The more you start talking to them and you believe that they're real, the more powerful they become. They stop working on your subconscious and start actually doing stuff in the physical. Now, this is how, like, niggas be creating guardian spirits and shit when they talk about, oh, they walk into people's houses and they're just like, yo, there's something here. Now, it's not always a negative entity who died. It might be a servitor, a thought form, or say if a person died and what's left isn't them, it's the thought forms that they had. That's why it feels like them. It's their servitor. Everyone has technically one or a couple inside of them who are more powerful than the others. It's like those running scripts. It's the one, I hate you, I love this person, I like this, I love that, I don't like that. It's like those things. It's like it. Now, those are just simple ones. The servitor you're creating will most likely be more complex in nature. So it can get to a point where it could be like you're having a personal God at your disposal. Let's say if you go for a couple of years, it'll be like having somebody who could do shit for you. I mean, your higher self will already do that stuff for you, like, anyway. But your servitor would do the stuff that you want it to do, and keep doing it for you, while you can go off and go do other stuff. Like you got this business you made. All right, well, now I want to branch off and go do something else. Well, that servitor that you created will keep that business booming while you go off and go do something else. Also, another thing the servitors can do is influence your personality if you want it to. So if you want to become more courageous, you want to become more like I said before, for me, I want to become smarter, and I do want to become more courageous. What's another one? Oh, to have more stability in your emotions. So if you're bipolar, you get angry easily, it stabilizes your emotions. Now, how it also will do, it will bring you situations where it will test you so that you can make these choices on your own. Like these choices, the universe will align itself in alignment of your energy. So the moment you become courageous, you start feeling yourself become more courageous, people are going to start testing you. And you're going to have to consciously choose to be more courageous. And then it's just going to eventually stop happening for the most part, because now you mastered it. When you master it, it just becomes easy. You no longer even really pay attention to it. It's a part of you now. It's just like how you no longer have to think about, like, oh damn. It's like when you start having intuitive like moments and stuff, you no longer have to think about, oh, you're having intuitive moments. You're like a genius. You're with this type of stuff. It just happens so naturally that it just becomes a part of you. I've been doing this for about a year and some change now, and the half of the year was when my intuitive abilities start kicking in, like a lot, and it's got to a point now where it's just so ingrained into my body that I don't even really think about it no more. I can't even tell if I'm having them. I just know it's a part of me now. And so for your servitors, it's just like that. You just start to know that they're real and that they can do things for you, especially if you believe in them. But if you don't believe in them, and that's okay if you don't really believe fully, because they'll just work on a subconscious level until you start to believe. It's like that fake it till you make it type shit. But trust me, in the beginning, it's energy. I'm sure most people already know there's like two types of people in the world, or well, there's always usually two types of people in the world, but with various differentiations. But in terms of spirituality, I've known so far, there's two types of people. There's the logic brain people, and there's the intuitive empath. I was never really I used to be when I was younger, but I kind of quickly closed that off, and it's been kind of a hard thing to get it back. But I'm more logic brain thinking. Like I can find just about any type of information I want through just either knowing it, just like through claircognizance and thinking it up. Just let me think for a few moments. Give me a moment to think about it, and I can figure out the information. I may not get it 100%, but I'll get that shit up until I'll get it to 75%, and then reach an impasse and be like, oh shit, all right, whatever. And then the other 25% will come like 2 days later on something I'm watching, or something I'm listening to. I'm talking to my higher self, or maybe I just continue from what I was just talking about before. It may not even come 2 days. It might come a couple of months, or it may come. It don't matter. It just comes. The other part, I did most of the work. Fucking crying. I don't know if y'all can see that, but that usually happens when my soul is trying to say something. Don't always know what it's trying to say. Like I said, I'm kind of closed off. But if you're empathic, you should off bucks know, like, this stuff is real. Like, if you can feel energy, you should know the moment you create a servitor, it is there, and it is there to help. But if you're not, and you're like me, who are logic brain, just keep it up. Like, really just keep thinking about it. Because I can think, I can't really sense the energy. Like, sense it, like, I could know something's touching me. Like it hold his hand right here. I can't really know that. But I can see a mental picture in my mind that somebody just walked in. Like, my servitor just walked in the room and made itself known to me. So it's in my mind, and it seems weird when I say that, but when you see the shit that I've seen myself, I've seen them manifest things for me, and it's crazy. But I think that's just about everything I have to say right about now. I took like a walk around my neighborhood. Some dude. Jeez, that kind of scared me. What's up, Pop?